So I did this paper on what Alpenglow would mean for small validators, on validators with small stakes specifically. So what essentially drove it was thinking, okay, let's see how does the current system affect these small validators, and if we implement Alpenglow, what does it change? Because initially Alpenglow wanted to aim to eliminate transaction fees, which I believe is still in view. But to maintain a similar economic model, they reduce the voting fees by just by 20%. So as the aim of this set was to examine how much would that affect, or how would it improve validators compared to the other factors that come in with Alpenglow. So just please scroll up. Okay. This next page. Yes. All right. So we have the problem statement. Operating a validator node is not without its cost. So on Solana currently, every vote is an on-chain transaction, as we know. And then if you surmount the transaction fee per vote, in total per epoch, you get about approximately 2.16 per epoch. 2.16 so, right? And then if you compound that into a year using the standard 0.05 and the number of slots, you'll get about 394 so tokens every year for validators. So I was able to find a crypto calculator how much validators would make based on their stake size, So what I found out was that more of the bigger validators, usually around the super minority and below, they actually depended more on block rewards, since they had higher possibilities of being chosen as leaders. Even block rewards, so they don't really depend much on MV, so they usually have zero commission, right? But then when I started moving down line towards, you have from the millions of soul stake to around 50,000, 60,000, you see that the dependence on block rewards was less. At some point you see that I couldn't actually get all the data because it was actually difficult, but I intend to do that in continuing the research. So you see at the point where the cost of voting fees actually supersedes the reward these validators get for voting, right? So then you move a little bit downward, and then you see at some point, at a particular point, you see that validators accounting for both their block rewards and their commission and everything and inflation, it still does not they still run at a loss, right? So I took 3 case studies. If you scroll down, yes, okay, so we have first T-stake systems. We have that assuming a fixed commission rate of 5% and 10% MEV commission. So this guy has 55,067 SOL stake. So price of, as at when I did this calculation, the price of SOL was 128.7, right? $128.7. So inflation was 6.6, and then we have number of epochs per year, and then cost of voting fees. So you see that voting costs here cost about $73,402 annually, right? And then you have server costs, then you have his profits. He has MEV commission, delegated stake revenue, and block reward. So if you look here, you see that already the block reward is already greater than his voting cost is already greater than block reward. So where he's actually getting his profits from is from MEV commission together with delegated stake revenue at 55,000 SOL. So please go up. Then yes, please scroll down a bit. The second validator node is TIA. Definitely, please. All right. So we have TIA. TIA has a stake size of, where's the stake size? Okay, about 30,000 SOL. So with 30,000 SOL, you see that his voting cost is still the same. So it's approximately the same for all validators regardless of stake size, right? So the voting cost is still the same, using the same server cost. You see that even when you sum the block rewards, MEV commission, and the delegated stake revenue, you have that this guy is already running at a loss of $19,000, right, annually. So this is already a loss for him at 30,000 soul stake. Then you go down to 20, someone with 20,000 soul stake, which is actually quite a lot of money in dollars if you can convert it. But then they're already running at loss, being validators, and the major yes, which is this guy. So the major cause of this high throughput, or let me say high point to break even, is because of voting fees. So I said, okay, let's look at Alpenglow. Alpenglow claims to reduce the cost of voting fees, right, by 20%. So per app, is using current rate by epoch, so that's about 1.6 sold every 2 days, because currently an epoch is about approximately between 2 to 3 days. So I took it as 2 days, right? So with Alpenglow reduces the cost of voting from approximately 2 2 sold every 2 days to 1.6 sold every 2 days, right? So I did the calculations. Jeff, you please go up. So you see that reducing the cost of voting fees actually reduced, because it's no longer called voting fees under Alpenglow, since they no longer have on-chain transactions. They are now called VATs, right? So it's called the validator admission ticket. But then under Alpenglow, you can still scroll up a bit, right? So under Alpenglow, you have that it's not just the voting fees, that because the major change coming to Solana with Alpenglow is the jump increase in finality time from 12.8 seconds to between 100 and 150 milliseconds, right? But then I was thinking, even if the cost of voting fees annually has been reduced, what about the other implementations of Alpenglow? So we have that Alpenglow tightens the grace period. You can scroll down past here. So Alpenglow tightens the grace period. Now they tighten to around from 800 milliseconds, which was the former grace period, to around 400 milliseconds. And the reason why this is important, because currently the type of MEV that is derived on Solana is not based on finality time, right? So it's more based on block time, because they gain by reordering transactions. So I was thinking, okay, would the reduction in voting fees really actually offset maybe the rewards lost to MEV, right? So I haven't been able to do let me say value them exactly, but from Cross One article, you see that they predicted a decrease in arbitrage MEV opportunities by 38%, and I think that's actually a huge amount if you consider that most of these smaller stake validators actually depend a lot on MEV, right? So please go up towards the end now. Then also we have stakeholder propagation, right? So on Alpenglow, the one of the main reasons how Alpenglow is able to achieve fast finality is the way it propagates the blocks, right? So and Alpenglow actually targets, or let me say prioritizes validators with higher stake to get to finality faster. And if that's going to happen, it will mean that more of the time, if these smaller validators are not actually if they don't maintain a high uptime, right, and good latency, they will actually get excluded more often from selecting rewards. So even though the cost of voting is small, if they get included in consensus far less and less, they will make much less block rewards, and then they also lose rewards from MEV that they usually get when they become leaders. So it's actually kind of like, let's say, a lose-lose situation currently. But then we also have the fact that VATs in Alpenglow are bond, right? So they're completely bond, unlike in the current system. So initially in this current system, right, when those VATs, the voting fees, half of it is bond and the other half is redistributed, kind of like takes soul from the small guys and give to the big guys. But then in Alpenglow, everything is completely bond. So they actually are not even getting any more of those extra little income, right? But the upside is that hopefully the burning of these voting fees might help in deflation. So we'll see that maybe hopefully in future we'll see an increase in the price of SOL, right? But then we should know that burning of this fees is not the only factor that affects inflation. So if you burn the tokens and then the demand for the tokens still go down, they will still not make more. It's actually kind of still a loss. So that's just like the summary of the research. And then some of the limitations I faced, however, was being able to pull accurate data, right? So I actually wanted to be able to like get a graph and be able to see exactly at what point validators stop being profitable first for profitable from block rewards first, and then stop being profitable from their total soul stake. So in the future, then when I continue, so I'm going to try and get accurate data so I can project that, and then we'll see at what point exactly, and then we'll also be able to see based on the changes made to Alpenglow how much this will affect, and we'll to see exactly at what point also. So I saw with Bomain shared some of his stuff with me. You see that already you have fewer validators being needed to complete consensus. So the thing is, some of it is that some other validators will actually get kind of like a lose-lose situation unless they're able to maintain high uptime and throughput and all that. But if in the future we experience an increase in price of SOL due to the Alpenglow consensus, then it might actually be a good thing. But currently, they are actually at a big loss for now. Thank you.